Yeah, right back at it. I call it briefly, quick note, because I'm just talking about subjects and everything else, and it happens to pop up on my screen. So I'm just continuating. It's a continuation of my elaboration of what Joe Biden said to the black leaders about Hispanics outnumbering us in the future. And I'm like, yeah, it's a fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fact. Like, yeah, it's a fact, man. There's a lot of them in their own country, and there's a lot of them here. So, technically speaking, they've already outnumbered us on this part of the hemisphere. Just like, take a look at the numbers, bro. You dig? Like, technically speaking, on this hemisphere, yes, they have numbered us. I say 100 to 1. You dig? But if you take a look at their country, you take a look at them here, yeah, they have. Like, if you take a look, if you put them as a whole, and you don't separate them, and you don't, because there's different countries and everything else like that. But if you don't separate them, it's like, yeah, like why even? And most of it is like we in a perfect spot. We can't even be argumentative about it. Because if you take a look at the Middle East, if the United States was in the Middle East, and all these other people who are the same, but they in different countries but speak the same language. Some of them, most of them speak the same language, and they warring with each other. Come down, and they warring with each other. Imagine that happening here with other Hispanic countries. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with y'all. Imagine them warring. You got imagine Cuba warring with Venezuela, or they warring with Mexico and everything else. It would be chaos all around us, but we don't see that. I have not seen that. So it's we fortunate. You feel me? So it's like we just gotta look at the positive side of it and don't look at it as something of intimidating. Because when we take a look at all these other countries that's surrounding the United States, like the Caribbean, there's not no war really, no war going in the Caribbean. There's no war in South America like that. Like you feel me? There's probably civil war going on in those places, but it's not something that's boiling over to the United States, and we got to be very concerned. It's not like what's going on in the Middle East where these people are beefing with each other, basically. You know what I mean? And no, it's not. The United States is not even. They're not. Let that nigga pass. They're not even remotely close to what Israel is going through. You feel me? The only thing that we have is probably the immigration issue, and Trump want to build a war and everything else. But if you compare ourselves, if we I said replace, if we how do we do this? If we can I say transfer? No. If we place ourselves in Israel's spot, and Israel was to come to the United States, they'll find it more peaceful. They'll be like, look, our neighbors are very friendly. You feel me? The United States government they have a good relationship with Canada, and they have a good relationship with Mexico. Those are the two borders. The only people that we probably have tension with is Russia. You feel me? And Russia, the next neighbor that's close to Alaska. You feel me? But apart from that, yeah, we in a great spot right where we at. Like we not close to the chaos like that. So I don't know why Biden will even bring that up like it's an issue. Like why make it they always gotta make a race and a population issue. Like man, nigga, we in the western we in this hemisphere. Like look, like you feel me? Can't be mad about that. Like you just can't, you dig? You just can't. It's still the United States of America, like untouchable. It was the greatest idea formed, hands down. Like if you had a dream and you wanted to manifest that dream, well, this is what it looked like. Everybody from the world is coming here. You feel me? Everybody. I haven't met a race that is not here yet. Everybody, even from rich countries, they still coming here for a better life. So that tells you everything that you need to know. So to me, it's not a problem. To Joe Biden, it seems like it's a problem. That's why he keep bringing it up. You feel me? That's why they keep bringing up that administration. This is the second time I've heard him say it out in public. So if they saying out in public like that, that's something that they went over because the liberals, trust me, man, they have lawyers, they have scholars, they have people that is they constant and they have the media. So if they come out with something like that, you gotta pay attention that this is something of a concern to them. Like you dig? Like they probably just dealing with the issue and the matter, but it's a concern to them. And it's like, yo, why are you worried about that? The people of the United States, the people of the United States have already moved on. And they've moved on by the kids that we've been forming. Like you can tell if I speak to somebody, they'll be like, oh, my kids, I have a white husband or I have a black husband, and they be different races. Like, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're mixing it up. Like, they ain't worry about you and your old ways of thinking. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. These niggas gotta move out the way. The United States people, we the people, have already moved on. We in the future. It's the government that's holding us back sometimes, and sometimes we kind of recline backwards into their ideology and start fighting with each other and everything else like that. And when we already moving on, we communicate with each other, we work with each other, we mingling with each other. You feel me? Come on, man, we buy from each other. You dig? Like, if you just have your own people just buying from you, that's not a good business. You feel me? The reason why, one of the main reasons why the slave trade, one of the main reasons why the slaves and the United States decided to start treating African Americans a little better, because it decided to go global. So it had to polish itself. That's why it hates when the African American comes as they don't even want us to be at the UN Council talking about these things. It's an embarrassment to them, because then they want to go to other countries and lecture them about human rights issue, and when they have a track record of 400 years plus of human right violation. So they don't like that shit. They always try to sweep the African America under the carpet and make it seem like that nigga don't exist and everything else like that, because they want to move on from it, but it's not gonna happen. It's like you can't go and lecture. And that's why places like Iran and North Korea and all these other places who are being lectured, even Russia, bring up the African Americans sometimes. Be like, yo, how you gonna tell us about that? Look at your history and everything else like that. And they know that hurts the United States sometimes. So they don't even say that shit too much sometimes, because they know those are like fighting words. And they know them niggas who take that shit personal. That's a history that they're trying to get rid of. You feel me? But it's 6:06. I'm still out here talking shit. That shit crazy. But yeah, it's the truth though. You feel me? Tell them niggas you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. That's all I gotta say. Joe Biden and that administration, yeah, I gotta let that go. I just feel sorry for the next 4 years for us, because it's not gonna be what we think it is. These people have their own agenda. They're going to continue all these soldiers that Trump is pulling out the Middle East. Nah, they going back. They going double, triple size and everything else like that. They going back to these things. You feel me? You know what I mean? So that's just that. I had to put my 2 cents in. Now I'm gonna watch Vicky Dillon's show, because she's she's much more enlightened about these situations, and she does her research thoroughly before she even put it out there. So that's something that that's not it. Damn far. That's something that I'll be definitely looking forward to listen to her and her comments on it and everything else like that. But it has nothing to do with the African American. The African American built this country, and he deserves with the S's at the end. S's. The essence of it. It's an essential. The African American deserves his input and his assistance, And I know they try to make black leaders make it seem like you don't need no assistance and You stupid nigga. Who are you fighting for? Your family or the whole nation as a whole? You feel me? Alright, man. I'll holler at y'all, man. It's my bus. Today was just not.
So
Thank
sorry.
you. That's alright. Thank you.
Had a passenger wigging out.
Wicked.
Did you leave a black sock here?
A black what?
A black sock?
Socks?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, because it had stuff in it. I wasn't sure who it was.
Black socks? No.
No, one sock. And it had chips and vitamins.
No.
Oh, okay.
What was it, a bag?
It looks like a sock. I left it right here. And I thought it was yours because I found it back there.
I will take a look at it when I get off.
Okay.
You have a charger or no on this bus?
No, it's not a new bus. Sorry.
Alright, cool. Thanks.